Meeting to order for the Village Council, Tuesday, September 10th at 7 p.m. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Lori Bordeaux is absent. Kelsey Cook.
Here.
Lori Hunter.
Yes.
Allison Kemp.
Here.
And Jacob Nicosia is absent.
Have we heard from either of them?
Yeah, I did hear from Jacob, and he asked if he could be absent. So,
I'll make a motion to refuse taking Ms. Sia from the September 10th Village Council meeting.
support. Okay, motion made by Helmut, seconded by Kemp. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Motion carries. Item number 4, approval of the agenda.
If there's no changes, then we can vote to approve the agenda. Is this amended?
Well, it wasn't the original one.
As amended.
There you go. I updated it.
Support. Okay, great. Motion made by Helmut, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Motion carries. Number 5, a presentation from Oakland County Main Street.
Good evening. My name is Derek Phillips. I'm with Main Street Oakland County. And we're here to do our annual accreditation for Main Street from Main Street America. This is really, something that really deserves some public recognition. We, for the 9th year in a row, downtown Oxford has been designated as a Main Street America accredited program. They've been a select level program through Main Street Oakland County since 2004, I believe it is. It's a really, like I said, recognition that deserves some good public support. If you're not familiar with Main Street America, is a nationwide program that Oakland County Main Street is part of, and they have certain accreditation standards that have to be met. Back in February, we had a lady from, her name is Dana Walker from the Michigan Downtown Association come in, look at the DDA, how it operates. There's things they looked at like broad-based commitment to revitalization, diverse cultural and volunteer engagement, diversified funding, strategy-driven programming, preservation-based economic development, demonstrated impact and results. You can see why I wrote all that down, so I can't remember all. But we met with local business owners. We had a good spirited discussion with some business owners that support the DDA. We met with DDA board members. We met with some village council members. At the end of the day, there's a nice little write-up. It's about 25 pages. I'd be welcome to see a copy of that. To talk about all the things that were the strengths of the DDA. There's some things in there that say, looking across the nation, there's some things that can be improved. And it's a good, like I said, it's a good neutral party to look at the DDA. If Oakland County came in, we'd say, oh my God, Oxford's the best DDA ever. Then we go to Lake Orion, we say Lake Orion's the best DDA ever. Then we go to Royal Oak, we say Royal Oak. No, Kelly and her team and Kimberly have done a fantastic job. And just one more year, you're accredited 9 years in a row. It's huge. I would be remiss if I didn't provide some more stats about Main Street Oakland County. A lot of times, the DDAs across Oakland County and across the nation, for that matter, are kind of viewed as these party planners, and it's just not the case. I work in economic development. I work with small business owners all the time, and without the support of Main Street, without the support of the DDAs, some of the businesses wouldn't survive. We provide grants, we provide support, we provide training, things like that. But just in 2023, across the 28 programs in Oakland County, we've had over $80 million in public and private investment, 249 net new jobs, 185 net new businesses, over 15,000 volunteer hours, 123 buildings rehabilitated, and the list goes on and on. So this is not just, rainbows and bubbles on Main Street. This is actual economic development. Buildings are getting rehabilitated, jobs are being created, and Oxford's a part of that. And we're here to show that they've been accredited by the national program for the 9th year in a row. Hopefully that continues. And with that, I'd like to present the plaque. And if we could get a picture maybe and a round of applause.
Did they teach you how to use the camera?
Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Next up on the agenda is call to the public. If anyone would like to address council, please feel free to step up to the podium and please state your name and your address. Okay, seeing no one moving towards the podium, we will move on to the consent agenda, item number 7, 8,
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda 7, item A, 1 and 2.
Support.
I'm gonna try to speak in English.
Okay, I think I heard a motion. Helmut and Kemp. All those in favor to receive and file A 1 and 2, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. 7B.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items B, 1, 2, and 3, including the bills, in the amount of $351,500.61.
Support. Okay, motion made by Helmut, seconded by Kemp. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. On to 8, unfinished old business, the Wackel PUD lot update.
So as I discussed last month, we were waiting for DG to make the final connection to the parking lot lighting, and that is now done. I spoke to Mr. Russell yesterday. We're gonna work with him to try to get the lot open. I think it's about 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks to the Scarecrow Festival. So we'll work at getting that lot open. The reconfiguration and the surveying and the lot combination, everything is not done yet, but I don't want to wait for that to happen, so it'll still be his usual name until we get that accomplished. But in the meantime, I'd like to get it open, whether we agree with him to lease it for $1 a month or whatever. Put something in place with him so he knows that we're on, and we want to allow it to be used for public parking use, which is what it was intended for. Now that the lights are there, that was the last item, safety concern, liability wise.
Have we talked to our insurance company about adding it?
Not yet, no.
We did at least, we could have it working.
And then to get that done before Scarecrow Festival, do we need anything from council?
Just authority to enter into a non-financial burdening lease
So moved.
with the parking lot for insurance coverage. Sound good?
I'll make that motion.
Support. Motion made by Helmut, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion? Sounds good. A roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Great. Any other updates on the lot? Wonderful. Thank you. 8B is the tree planting program. You indicated no updates at this time.
Well, I have examples.
Okay, yeah.
Examples.
But I do have Mr. Brandy here, who went, as long as we're talking about trees, I want to protest a little bit as well, some other trees we're looking at. He can touch base on that. He brought it to my attention, and we're going to do it.
Great. Good evening.
Just to make everybody aware, the trees in the downtown park, we just had a tree company come in and trim 3 of the pine locusts in the park. And while they were there, they did an analysis of the other trees, the 2 in the front, the big maples in the front of the park, and then the 1 big silver maple in the back, which is by Merrill. And they gave us a price to remove those 3 trees. Those trees are in really bad shape. So I just want to bring it forward to you and have you in your travels take a look at them and to your door look at them. There's a possibility of possibly saving the one to the south, down by the old 5-1 diner in the front. But I just want to bring it to your attention that those trees are live their life. Okay.
Thank you.
Did they give you estimate?
We do have a price to remove those 3 trees, about $6,400. If we leave the tree to the south, it'd be about $5,200. Then that's removing the stumps.
They take the wood.
Except for the chips, we don't have the stump chips.
And to replace them, would we use our tree budget move on to new business then. 9A is the East Burdick Street repair bid consideration.
Okay, so we have, the bid tab and the, recommendation from Rowe, and a memo from me. Again, initially, when we were talking about this last spring, we thought, oh, we're gonna fix a little bit here, but there, the more we walked it, the more we thought, okay, there's a lot more here than we thought. And we actually then noticed how bad the catch basin was at the northeast corner, and the ADA ran very come down on the catch basin, that was very conservative there. So we want to address that once we're in the area. So the scope got bigger towards the groove, but I think this is going to be the better fix for it. In addition to that, you see part of the addendum, I had added a side bid, which was for the parking lot of the church at the northwest corner of Mill. And I included a copy of the agreement that we have at the church, the shared parking use, shared use agreement we have with them. It delineates who's responsible for what. Total pavement repair, whatever the church is responsible for, we're responsible for snow plowing, and crack sealing, and pothole patching, and drainage. And a big part of the problem with that smaller lot out front is the drain structure's kind of falling in, and so it's bringing some of the pavement down around it. So that one's pretty much kind of a drainage issue anyways. And then the other section a little farther away, yeah, it's not a pothole yet, so we waited till we become a pothole and do the pothole patch in it, which wouldn't be a big fix. So as long as we're there, I think that area is maybe what, 10 by 10, another small area. We're doing the road, if we're going to improve it, and we do the rest of the parking lot as well, then it makes more sense to do that 10 by 10 area with some solid cut it out, and obvious patch all in, make sure it's good. There's a way for it to come apart in a year or two and the pothole patch in it. So that's why there's two different prices there. They want to separate, one would be funded by the road fund. For major street fund, which says, I think they $400,000 in it, I think, and then $419,000. So even though the project is a little higher, they thought we had plenty of money in the major street fund to handle that. And if you recall, this is actually the project we put in for the county transportation plan. Again, we don't have a lot of high scores on this because the safety is much of a concern. But that's the only section in the village we have between Class B and M24 that'll be eligible. So that's still a 28-29 possibility, even if we get into the plan. Our score would be kind of custom. But I think it makes sense to move forward with this project. It's something we want to get done this year. And if you recall, we have $12,000 from the county local road improvement program from last year, $10,000 this year, that will go towards this project. It's about a 3-week project, I think. We already communicated with the schools, about detour routes and stuff, and that's all we turn in and have the detour routes. As people come in from the east, we detour north up Gray Road or south Broadway, back up the lake, continue westbound. So there's already design in there with detour road.
Has there been more use of church parking lot since we had a meeting?
It's funny when I talked to Mr. Rizzo, who's the church's my contact there, Tony Rizzo. When I talked to him last week about this and kind of where I was at on this, he's noticed that some nights when the weather is full, and mostly Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays.
We spent a lot of time in town, and one Thursday night and one Friday night, the lots were halfway full, so it is being used, and I have pictures if you want to see.
I we were connected enough, I didn't know if you're for another reason, because some other folks do.
Oh, no, I
That's
just
just a reason.
want to thank you if you pass this.
Okay.
Do we think our employees or customers or mix or?
I don't know if we have any way to tell.
That means all those employees are going to start working.
Well, we didn't want to force them over yet. We didn't want to overload it. We want to have that conversation first. But again, I think if we put a good faith effort into making that a lot better and fixing the repairs, I think the churches, again, it's always been part of the agreement that it can be used. And if so, if we get this repairs done, I think, some of the employees from, let's say, Red Mask, once the
I'll make a motion to approve and award the fees for the street repair project to be as I paving, amount up to $160,000 to be charged to 202-463-970-000 Major Street Surface Capital Improvements. And to recommend approval of awarding the asphalt drainage repair for the Oxford United Methodist Church parking lot at the northwest corner of East Burdick Street, Mill Street, to be as I paved in amount up to $12,000 to be charged to 101-454-810-000 general fund parking lot maintenance and services.
Support.
Motion made by Homer, seconded by Kent. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So on nights that you have Awana or whatever,
Do you want to bring them up to the podium today?
sure. Yeah,
Would you mind stepping up to the podium for some questions? Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I did warn you, they went really good.
Yeah.
It's not his first time.
Thank you.
I'd like that you have youth group or running evening programs. How would you like us to differentiate? In the agreement it says it should use the community access. I'm losing my spot. I apologize. Except for those nights. So how would we?
I think we just meant during church service.
So your posted service times. Okay.
I think it's the agreement technically says scheduled church activities such as Wednesday evening for logos, etc.
We don't do logos anymore.
Okay, well,
No, we're good.
sorry.
I don't think there's any issue.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were monopolizing
just out of curiosity, I mean, it hasn't really affected me. But my neighbors, you know, you put your trash out Wednesday, by Friday morning, something's happening to it. Which is really, you know, no one cares if it's picked up on Thursday or Friday or Tuesday, as long as the animals are getting into it. And if they said to us, you can't pick you up until Friday for the next 2 months, I don't think anyone, if we got the word out, I don't think anybody would care. And maybe we can just pin them down.
Trouble is, well, we're not seemingly getting that kind of certainty. That's a problem. So, but I think you may see I think you might see a tick towards better, but I tend to agree with Joe. I don't think it's ever going to be what you sign up for, and we should have alternatives ready.
That's the biggest concern we have is people that go up north on Thursday or Friday morning, the trash is allowed to go up north, and then come home Sunday night or Monday, then they put it back out 2 days later in preparation for next week and it's still up. And they've never had to worry about it sitting up for day and a half and getting torn into by some animal or maybe cat or whatever. And now that's happening where it never was a problem before. That's one of the biggest concerns and complaints we have is A, it's out over the weekend where if they leave, and B, because they don't want to be late, right? Because if they put it out, well, I'll just put it out Friday because it's come late. Or so on Thursday and miss it. If they put it out as they're supposed to Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and then Friday night perhaps or Saturday morning, all times it's being picked up. So it's sitting out 48 hours, 72 hours. Then it's getting torn apart.
So we'll keep working on this.
And again, then the response we're giving most people is, yep, we're sharing those concerns with council, we're sharing some of the notes, and we had a discussion and look at our options at the next meeting. That's what we're going to do, just show you, get the feedback to you for one, to let you know that I'm working in the background to have someone ready and available. If we set aside our end of the agreement to put them on notice that they're not performing, and they have 7 days to correct it, well, that's coming on. But the note was, don't worry, if we can't do it, we'll let you know.
Yeah. So the 7 days to correct, I mean, does that mean we pick it up the next day, so the 7 days start over, or just 7 days, like, you don't pick it up on time, you get 7 days to get it on
It's
time?
the program in general.
Okay. And that's again, they're still in default.
Yeah.
I mean, the priority model is they have a command center to work with. And it's like a NASA space center of cameras. All of their trucks eventually in Michigan will be camera. And so what happens is the community is not working with their getting vertical access into this camera system. So, for example, the truck pulls up to a stop and there's no trash there. It will automatically take a 14-second video and then move to the next stop. And then when the person calls and says they didn't pick up my trash, you'll have video at the community level that there was no trash there. The system has taken a while to get in effect, but it is
That's not kind of what they assumed.
Right.
Did we lose our former route manager?
Yes.
Yes.
Some of the folks that they were hoping would come to work with them had worked with them previously and weren't coming back. It's one of the who's there.
You're finding that there is other providers that have the labor. It's not just like a statewide labor shortage of
No, there's
people.
I mean, as Don will tell you, residential trash is at its best when you don't hear about it. Right? You don't hear about it, it's at its best. So we're getting to make it things.
Yeah.
So everybody can pay their taxes this week or two. Every person had a question or comment about it. Some was just like, did it change? So then why did you guys pick these people? Well, we explained to them the situation, how we didn't deal with the contract, became assigned and assumed by the company. And that we have a contract. Kind of stick to on our end too.
Yeah.
Hold them accountable and get these go through those motions.
I think at this point it's been over 2 months, right?
July 4th.
Okay. Over 2 months.
Yep.
They need to,
The first week they got it on time. It was a holiday week, so we'll think it was Friday and they did it. I'm like, oh.
We were surprised about it.
Yeah.
And then it's not been proper since.
Yeah.
And I think part of the problem is when you assume 60 communities, like here we are with 1,100 stops. What's Bloomfield at 26,000 stops? Who do they care more about?
Right.
You know, you got smaller communities, smaller villages like us that, you know, they probably don't prefer that.
Well, thank you. Any other questions from council? We'll move on to 9C, special event application. This is for the Oxford Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade.
He's almost a ditto of last year's application. Everything is the same in there. So it started out on Front Street, come up from East Street and wrap up there. Chief Sowell is here. He's on the chamber still helping them arrange all this, so he's aware of all the ballots and everything as well. So it's kind of another for the date.
All 7 at 1 p.m.
So I understand why it was closed last year. It was shut down to go southbound on 24. It was closed at Waterstone. Waterstone, is that correct? Am I correct? What I'm getting to is it caused problems for our business because we didn't know people weren't going to be able to get to us. Can we request that they let everyone, let those businesses know? I know most people won't have a problem because it's Saturday, but it was quite a hiccup for us. We didn't know in advance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we try to get the information out ahead of time, and sometimes it just doesn't get through where it should, or some people don't know that.
I think we just didn't know where the break was going to be. We didn't know it was going to be so far back.
Well, yeah, we've changed it a couple of times. We used to go as far as past the fire station, and that lot was available for everybody to kind of dump out and end there, because it was a big wide space. That's not going to be able to happen anymore. So, and plus the veterans, they say that's too far from the walk, so they weren't a short distance. So they came with the idea, hey, can we just go to East Street and they'll be down there? And I said, sure, that's no problem. Your great majority of businesses anyway, by the time you get to East Street. So it seems to work for everybody. So that's going to be the route.
I think it's just the businesses north of the parade route, but the stop was so far back where the traffic was turned around, so they weren't able to get through to us.
Right.
People, it didn't occur to people that
Yeah.
weren't going to be able to get through. So
Yeah,
I
we
just,
see, I'm sorry, we see us, she's up there across from, Goddard School. Those
Yes,
guys, right?
yes.
That's what we're working at. So,
Yeah, I think she's referring to, we asked for assistance from the Sheriff's Department to stop traffic south on Market Street,
okay, yes.
because that's the most direct, unless they come down to First Street, and we've got all those trucks coming on First Street with low wires and stuff, that wasn't a good idea, so we try to, and then we try to incorporate Ray Road into that too, as far as getting everybody going down Lasky Street too, so that seems to work out.
Yeah,
So they are going to be going around.
Yeah, I mean, the logistics, I understand. I think just can we request
so
that we
they're
let,
southbound, they're coming southbound. You
yeah,
guys know,
we,
I only go
yeah,
down there, and I go down there, yes, you can.
yeah. Can we just let the businesses know, I guess,
Yeah.
my request?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll make a motion to approve the special event application for the Oxford Chamber of Commerce as presented. Motion made by Cook, seconded by Helmut. Any
tasks to fill as far as full-time positions, and part-time positions in this profession. And it's required, I mean, I guess if I go back to when I started back in the 90s, when we would apply for one position, there was hundreds of us applying for one position. Now, you've got really hardly anybody applying for positions, and the ones that are getting these positions are going to agencies that are already spoken for at the academy, or you're required to have a 2-year associate's degree for the academy. We're thinking of going back to sponsorship as far as we've got a candidate right now that's reserved with us currently, a local resident that is definitely.
Let me interject, so we lost a 4-year officer whose last day was last week. We do have a full-time opening, and that's kind of what brought us. I hadn't shared it with folks on the week yet. Getting that reached to the officer. Yes.
Yeah, and let me interact on that. It seems like I've had to replace 5 full-time positions in the last 5 years because officers are either going to other agencies. What we're facing now is not only is it hard to get a job somewhere or get an officer from somewhere, but other agencies are offering, they're dangling these carrots with pension, bring back pensions. They're offering higher salaries. So now they're plucking full-time officers from other agencies because they need positions filled. So what we're trying to do is invest in a candidate that's already reserved with us that wants to become a police officer, doesn't necessarily have that degree. We sponsor somebody if they're talking to the Open Police Academy. It's actually cheaper to sponsor instead of them actually, and less time-consuming to go and get a degree, pay themselves for the academy, pay the $7,000. The academy says that if an officer is sponsored by a police department, it's $4,500, and they at least have to pay them a wage when they're in the academy. Upon graduation, we would work out deals where that officer has to commit to this agency to work with us for a couple of years before they decide to move on or stick with us or stay with us. The academy, the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because the 2025 academy starts in January. There's pre-rec tests that this individual has to take before the academy, which is a written and physical test for the academy that they have to pass in order to go into the academy, plus they have a sponsorship to start. The academy starts in January, they graduate in May. So by the end of May, this person will be certifiable to start with a police agency, and that's when they would start the SEO process, which is a field training process, and that would take at least 3 or 4 months to get this person trained and acclimated to the profession and be able to work on their own. So it's going to be time consuming. I mean, I plan on filling this position that was just vacated immediately, but in the coming future for next year, I know that we're most likely going to have another one that's going to be this closer to retirement. Yeah, so I'm trying to plan for the future here and invest in somebody that lives in this area, that wants to work in this profession, and is dedicated to do that. So I have 10 reserves. There's not, I mean, they all have professions, they all have careers, they're not interested. It's very rare that you get somebody that actually comes to me and says, hey, I want to do this, but I can't. Can you help me? So I'm like, gosh, I have to sponsor it. It's been a long time since we've done that. So that's why I went and talked to Joe. I said, we had a conversation about this, about sponsoring, and maybe think about doing that again, and investing in somebody and having that person invest in us. And then in the future, if that's something we want to do is sponsor somebody, we do have a good candidate comes along again, and obviously I would sit down with Joe, we would work this in the budget. But obviously we're past that point, and this is why I'm discussing it now as far as.
And to Chief's point, so we have the immediate opening that was just came out of the blue. And we also know Churchill is probably 12 months, 18 months at the most before he would retire. So this person wouldn't necessarily be our solution for the
be a minimum we could make, but contractually binding them for the rest of their career, I don't.
Even for 24, 36 months.
Right.
It's tenuous.
So we're looking at that. I think that would be interesting. Chief knows that we're looking at that.
Is it legal to handpick the person who goes into the academy?
Well, yes, and particularly if they apply and ask. So my understanding of the academy is they can do it on their own if they have a degree and they feel like paying, then they get in. The only other way to get in is they have a police department sponsor you and generally fund it, then you in turn will get minimum wage during the time that they're at the academy.
Yes.
That's the quid pro quo. So, and you're lucky, and this person lives here, already is a reserve here. Doesn't seem to me this person is using us as a vehicle to get sponsorship.
It's rare, in the 31 years I've been here, it's not too many people I get to know who say, hey, I really want to do this, and give you 50 through. So it's an advantage. I like to try to take advantage of that. It's an opportunity I like to take advantage of. When you devote yourself to somebody, there's a commitment there. There's a and I think it's a good investment. I mean, you got somebody who's going to say, hey, you invested in me, you went to the academy, I'm going to invest that back into you. With the training and the application, I mean, that takes, some time as it is, so, if you go back as far as me, I started as a reserve here, and I was sponsored to the academy here. So I felt loyal to an agency that wanted to, put me into an academy and put that commitment into me. So I felt that I had that personal commitment to that agency.
If you go look at the academy classes, let's say there's 20 recruits in there, 18 of them are already spoken for. They're already sponsored in, they already know where they're going when they get out.
Yeah, other agencies are starting to do that now. They haven't done it in the past. They're starting to now.
And this person will be approached. This person will be approached.
And if they know they're already found by somebody else, they pretty much, they won't lose their heart, put it that way. But even M. Coles, the county of the state of Michigan gave M. Coles like $24 million over the last 2 years. Do these agencies go out and pay for sponsorships and stuff. Now, I think that money's gone. This was like a 2-year program, and agencies all over the state were taking advantage of it. They were using the money to pay for it, sponsor it, and pay the wages because it was such a dire need.
I make a motion to approve the sponsorship and wages for the Oxford Police Department for the academy. And is that sufficient? As presented? Motion by Cook, seconded by Pellet. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call vote, please. Pellet?
Yes.
Yes.
Cook? Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. E, the Oakland County ARPA funds DDA agreement.
Okay, so we have a copy of the agreement in the packet. A couple weeks ago, when I first got it, a week ago, I highlighted some areas in there about showing that our number being used. And just a couple things that are highlighted in there about personal responsibility to internal control and federal board statutes and things like that. Other than that, it's kind of boilerplate stuff to some degree that we use around the county. And I just wrote a memo about them using it, and
basically whatever work that we do or the DDA does have completed would be allocated out based on the ARPA award. There is a match that the DDA has budgeted. And so if the entire ARPA grant wasn't taken up by the crosswalks and there was money left for the ADA grant, but it wasn't feasible, then the county would just rework the grant award and reduce it by that amount. But I think they kind of want to know sooner rather than later because they're going to reallocate the ARPA funds back out either to something we can do in Oxford or maybe to someone else. I know that all the funds have to be allocated by the end of this year and then spent by September. The county wants it spent by September 2026, which I don't think spending it will be a problem. But the DDA will be responsible for using the village's formal procurement policy, going through the bidding process, things we talked about. And so Joe's clear on that. We just have to make sure. I mean, my only concern is just that the DDA is going to do all of these things because otherwise it's going to fall back on the village to do. And that's Joe's time. That's Harry's time. So you can kind of see some of the things in the contract. There's an exhibit with exactly what the reporting requires, but it's basically accounting, receipts, photographs, summary of the work performed, just to keep the county updated as to the progress. And then the grant is not a reimbursement, but they will release 75% of the funds up front, which is great, so that the DDA can start paying invoices, and then remaining 25% upon completion. And so, like I said, the DDA does have that match amount budgeted, but they need to be prepared to cover potentially paying all the invoices before that final 25% is received. And I don't know if they have that in their budget, or maybe they have to do a budget amendment. So, maybe next year, yeah, it might even be this one, so that might not be an issue to budget for next year. I assume council will want to see the other projects, so before those move forward. So, but they are looking to get this agreement back this week. They've gotten most all the others from communities that they've worked with already. So I think this is one of the last ones they're just waiting on. Hopefully that provides, that's the extra information that I had to share.
Thank you, that sounds. Thank you for meeting with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Personally, employees are looking for mom and dad to close out.
Well, the council has to be aware that if they're using your number and whatever glitches, if any occur, it's coming back on the village.
Any questions, or I'll let you look it over, because I know this was added.
Yeah, I've got to put it in last week, I don't know if Thursday, they put it until yesterday. They threw it in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We talked about it, and I know that they were looking at the dates and stuff, and I thought,
Yeah, I don't think you're that tough, quickly. We needed to turn it around, so I just don't want it to be late. So, I will make a motion, and we can have further discussion if we need to. So I'll move to approve the DDA director to sign the placemaking and public spaces grant agreement with Oakland County with the following conditions: that the Oxford DDA is responsible for ensuring that they are managing the award in compliance with federal statutes, regulations, terms and conditions of the award, and any costs related to ensuring that the compliance, including any costs associated with ensuring compliance, including project administration and reporting. That all grant projects involving village-owned property or infrastructure must be presented to village council for review and approval in advance, and any grant-funded projects adhere to the Village of Oxford's purchasing policy.
Support.
Motion by Cook, seconded by Kemp. Any questions?
If these requirements aren't met, do they take back what are the consequences?
well, the federal government, sometimes you only find out for a couple of years, that, oh, we want to go back and see your records, right? And you want to make sure you comply with things. Now, we did this email today about some of the exemptions, some of the normal federal standards, like for Davis Bacon Act, and which the Wage Act, some of those things have been waived, so that does make it easier, a little less red tape and stuff that I worry about. But you just have to make sure to dot your i's, cross your t's, similar to what we do with the CDBG, but even less so, because CDBG still doesn't have those requirements. So it's just one of those things you have to make sure that you get the proper documentation, when you turn it in, and that's the county, right? They're gonna be the one who feed the information where they get the information to, and then it's, yep, we got the pictures, we have an update. I know Kelly does with other grants before, consumers and T-Mobile and stuff, so she's usually giving me photos and stuff, and the progress reports, so to speak. And so that would be a similar situation, and I'm sure any guidance, like we get guidance from the HUD agency, county, it's like, well, you know, we need to do this extra step, and then that'll be directed back to DDA, and then they'll have to do whatever those steps might be. So they kind of walk you through it some degree as well.
Thank you for clarifying.
I think the county will be pretty on top of it to make sure that everything, that they have what they need.
Because they have several out there, I mean,
Yeah.
so it'll be a group effort, I'm sure.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, number 10. There are no items removed from the consent agenda, so we'll move to our second opportunity for public comment. If anyone would like to speak under public comment, please feel free to come up to the podium. Hello.
My name is Daniel. I live on Lafayette Street. Can we complain a while? So my first one is a question actually for Kelly. Do you know when they're going to fix the pedestrian crosswalk sign in front of the front house that's been folded down for like a month now?
You'll have to ask her after the meeting. I'm sorry if
Oh.
I ask questions.
Oh,
During the
okay.
public comment.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Second issue is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I don't know what the solution will be to this because it's probably not going to matter much for the rest of this year, but next summer. Is the subway has signs posted that they do not have public restrooms, which is a problem for the little kids that come to the park after softball to go frosty board. And then, obviously, you know, they're little kids. They hold it as long as they can. So, I was not aware because I did send an email to the health department, and they're like, "Oh no, they only have to provide restrooms for their employees. They do not have to provide public restrooms." Which I was like, if you had restaurants or food, that you had to have public restrooms. So I don't know what the solution is, like maybe talk to Linda, maybe put like porta potties on the trail right there for the kids to use. I know they're gross, but I mean, I don't know what the solution to that is, but you have a lot of little kids there in the park after playing baseball, little league, you know, whatever. And then my last complaint, I guess, is the billboard spinning, rush people, distracting traffic. I know you guys are big on, oh, you can't have flashing lights in your windows downtown, you can't have this big of a sign or this small of a sign because you don't want to distract traffic. But you got people out there dancing and waving and everything else on 24, distracting traffic.
I agree, and we've definitely communicated with them.
And my biggest issue was, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and the fire department was doing a fundraiser for like car wash. And you have minors on one side of the street, and then you have this, you know, billboard dancing people for 21 over. I understand their location, and they don't, you know, people don't know it's there, but it was their choice to go there. So, like, that's it. Those are my
I did that for the cable fish meeting. It was just a no brainer, that's just me.
Perfect. Thank you. The DDA, Jacob is our designee and he's absent. Kelly, do you want to share any updates this evening?
Good evening. Thank you for approving that. The SAM number, Joe, will get that first bid out tomorrow, I guess, with Row, so glad that we can get moving on that. We have training for our small businesses coming up. Digital has been requested, so we're actually working through the Thrive Home program with Oakland County to provide digital training for free to our small businesses. That's coming up in 2 weeks. We have quite a few events coming up. Oktoberfest is this weekend, and our restaurants and bars are looking forward to that. We have Downtown Day coming up on September 28th. We've been working with OC Main Streets, our e-commerce platform, to really press business hard through a digital platform as well. Scarecrow Fest is the 29th. We have over 55 vendors now that have committed to that and growing. We met with multiple new businesses this month, either to secure new spaces or to help them with their current building owners on lease. If you haven't been in, we've been working with the new Fidouche Grill that just opened their doors, Cassandra & Co., Scott's Toys, new Modern Marketplaces area, and Bald & Rooted that moved downtown this weekend. So it was nice to be on the front end of all those new businesses coming in. We have our fall decor day on Friday, so we have over 30 volunteers that we have gone to come out and to volunteer to make this town look good for this fall, and we're getting the truck back as well for fall photo ops. Harvest Time was nice enough to come in and donate all this corn stalks this year. We have been working with the schools on volunteer hours for the kids. With all the events coming up, they're trying to be more involved, and the superintendent is really pushing that. We're working hard on an economic development showcase through the county, where we can position Oxford in a light of attracting developers and more people to our town. And I think that's it. We have a meeting next Monday, and everyone's welcome.
Pollyant Trail, Joe?
Yeah, I went down last month. They approved their budget, which, some people talk about Pollyant Trail, can they do this, can they do that? They don't have it. I remember it, like $135,000. They really small, had to do some grants and stuff. They did provide some, approve some funding for some upgrades, drainage upgrades and trail upgrades between Lake George and Forest Street and Rochester Road. And they also approved an estimate to Hutch Paving, who in our parking lot is actually doing the Park Street project. And those are going to be repairs between Drainer and Pleasant, some asphalt repairs and stuff like that. So continue to try to make some good impacts on the trail.
Wonderful. Thank you. Manager, staff, and attorney report, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, so, lo and behold, I think last Monday that our striking after PK striking that called us, or was another weekend, they had a cancellation, I don't know if they could come to ours that day, and of course, Don wasn't sure, go right ahead, and they did this, the one down at Oxford Elementary, and they did one here at Pleasant, and we also had to do crossing the Pollyant Trail crossing as well. So it came out well, it was 1 day job, they're in and out, so finally that was taken care of. Park Street watering project is going along. All the water main is in. We've not made, they've taken the bacteria samples, but now wait for the results on those. If those pass and goes well, they can start doing the taps on the new water mains, run the line over the curb stops, it's right away. At that point, once those are done, they'll start doing the connections into the home. They have, at our request, and they're happily accepted, DPW and Sons, that has done all the interior connections for us over the last 3, 4, 5 years. 4 years at least, that's who's going to be doing the work for them. So we're very happy about that because we're still familiar with their work and how conscientious they are of people's property and stuff. I think it's like 24, 25 homes through there that they will be doing. So that's coming along. They have some drain structures. We had some, Pontiac and Park Street, there was a lot of problems with Consumers Energy and the gas mains. One person came out mark the main, it's a smaller main. Another guy comes out next week, and there's a big 6-inch main coming over there, right where the drain structure was going to be set. So there's a lot of back and forth that, for a couple of weeks, few weeks, that we finally had to redesign it and put a drain structure around the corner on Pleasant Street in the right-of-way area. So that's taking place, I think, closed early today or tomorrow. I don't know if it was set, I didn't make it out there today, if the drain structure got set in place or not, but that should be the last drain structure, I believe, to be set in. And Tanya being here, it just made me think of the Beautification Commission. I think you are the only member of the Beautification Commission left standing.
Oh.
They have all, she came on, before they even had a meeting, they were all retiring left and right. So that's kind of where we stand with the Beautification Commission.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why you've not been notified, that's why they.
You want to be president?
So, and it just so happened last night, up in northern Superior County, I ran across a woman, and she heard me talking to somebody, heard who I was, and came and approached me. She's from the Oxford Garden Club.
Okay.
And they would like to take over the other side of the park, and where the Beautification Commission had been doing on the south side of Centennial Park.
Okay.
Because I was out looking at those trees a week or two ago, and I'm like, ooh, that's getting pretty overgrown on the south side, because the north side of the Garden Club is beautiful. And the other one used to be beautiful, but it hasn't been attended to lately. And so we connected last night, like I said, in northern Superior County. And so she's very happy. And I told her we have some money in the budget for plants and whatever, so they're chomping at the bit to come and take over that side of the park as well. Don't know what that means for the Beautification Commission. The Beautification Commission is something that's in our charter.
Yeah.
But perhaps you want to help, if you're interested, to volunteer the garden club. Perhaps if you want to, really want to get out there and work in the plants.
Okay.
I don't know what the long-term prospect is of the Beautification Commission.
Okay, maybe we can revisit that at a future meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Bonico, is there anything you want to add?
I really guess.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Brantley?
I just wanted to give you an update on the water treatment plant. A month or two ago, you approved a contract with Artesian Pioneer to come in and do inspections to the softeners and the filters. Just to update you, we're gonna wait a little bit longer until our usage goes down. So once the weather starts to turn a little cooler, we'll start using less water. We're gonna have to have a phone conversation with Artesian Pioneer prior to them coming on logistically how we're gonna isolate the different cells and the filters and the softeners. So just wanted to give you a quick update and let you know that we're still moving forward on that, but we gotta deal with some logistical issues before the work is actually performed.
Sounds
But
good.
we're going to try to avoid any type of a reduction in pressure or shut off that would include boil water.
Right, that would be ideal.
Yes, that would be a big deal. So, and I asked Don to speak specifically to that, and I thought that was it, but I just remembered. So there's other things I want to bring up. Eagle was here about a month and a half ago, did a sanitary survey of our water plant and water well houses and all of our programs. We talked about the cross-connection program and things like that. They have gotten back to us and gave us a preliminary report, and there's 4 or 5 items that they want to ding us with, so to speak. Pretty minor stuff, paperwork stuff. I mean, one of the things they looked back at the water plant was going back, they want to see 10 years back files, and they were all there. Some pretty minor things, but you know, they bring 6 people out and go through with fine tooth comb. Went to all the well houses, all the alarms, all the process and procedures, and everything was really well. And they liked how clean our facility is and how well run it is. But there's a few issues. The cross-connection program, they want us to use a different model. So they sent us a template to use for that. So, but again, they can't leave without giving you something, it seems.
That's true.
So we will be getting a few more, and then some other recommendations, some minor recommendations and things like that. And then, last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, maybe weeks ago, Eagle, the other department, the other side, the Surface Water Division was out with our MS4, followed our MS4 permit. And they were pretty impressed with the amount of street sweeping that we do. And they wish everybody did the street sweeping as much as we did. And Don explained to them, we do that, they do that quite diligently because they know that benefits and keeps so much stuff from getting into storm drains. And they were really impressed with all that, how much we do, and they wish everybody else did. they were kind of surprised because in our old MS4 plan, we have like a dry well, say down Denison Street, and it's just basically a hole in the ground with blocks and stuff, the water goes in and filters out. Well, they were listed as, catch basins? Detention ponds. And so they were like, how do you have 57 detention ponds around the village? Well, come to find out, they were really these dry wells or catch basins. So we went and showed them some of those, and they were pretty impressed how these old structures were built. When they were. Similarly though, there's a couple things that they want to dig us on. So they have dry weather screenings. So about a dozen or so drain structures DPW does each year when it's in dry weather. When you go look at the drain structure, there should be no water flowing in it, right? And they do, and they don't see any, and they mark it, and they have marked it for years. Well, they're like, well, they really want them to look around the area. Is there any other problems with vegetation? Is there a problem with erosion and stuff like that? And our obviously answer was, well, if there is, we see them and we address them. But we don't document it. So now they want us to document that stuff, and because we don't document it. So there's other little things that are just coming, it's like, okay. All in all, they were very impressed that everything went really well. The public education, we put the flyers out. We have the thing from Clinton River Watershed banner up in our lobby right now, but we don't quantify how much the public is learning.
Right.
And I'm like, so basically, what they suggest is I put all these flyers out in the lobby, and then go out 30 days or 90 days later, count them and say 14 flyers were taken. So it must be 14 people that learned something.
Give a quiz.
So it's those kind of things that are just a little mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But all in all, everything was good.
Yeah.
But both of them are, going to do their job and give them the paperwork.
Great, sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much. Chief, did you have any other updates tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay. Bob, Mr.
I'm
Davis?
good.
Okay, yeah. Council comments?
No.
None?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll move to adjourn at 8:08.
All right.